Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back outside the garage in the, hopefully, the last bit of this Caitlin transmission saga. So in the last video, we got the trans in, we got everything buttoned up, but we were missing fluid. So as you can see behind me, I have a box full of fluid. I honestly don't know how much this thing's gonna take. I think when you normally do like a fluid change, it's like 10 quarts. Needless to say, I got 15 quarts, and really the only reason for that is all the fluid the local auto parts store had. So if we need more than 15 quarts of ATF plus 4, we're gonna have to run out and go a little further and get some more. Also, we forgot one other thing last night, and it's pretty critical to what we're gonna do today with putting transmission fluid in the truck. Yeah, forgot our dipstick. So we got to install our dipstick, and then we're going to get the fluid into the transmission, and the dipstick fell. So anyway guys, one thing to note with these 68 RFEs, I guess it is because of the shape of this transmission fill tube, it actually takes a while for that fluid to run down into the transmission. As you can see, it's got a bunch of curves to it, so you got to let it, you know, put fluid in it and really let it sit for a good 5 or 10 minutes before you can get an accurate reading on your fluid level. But we'll do that. We'll probably pour, I don't know, 5 or 6 quarts in it, and then we'll start the truck, put it in gear, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get this dipstick tube in, get it filled up with fluid, and hopefully we don't need more than 15 quarts. Also, we do have to fill the transfer case as well, because a good portion of that ended up, you know, on my sweatshirt and soaking my arm, and it was all sorts of pleasant. So anyway, let's get to putting this thing in, and hopefully this thing drives tonight, which I think I've said the last 2 times we've worked on it. But tonight's tonight. Tonight's tonight. Got 6 quarts in. Let's see if we can start this pig. Whew, 5 codes. Gear 1 incorrect ratio, transmission fluid pressure low, barometric pressure. Oh, the bottom ones here, they are the intake tract, and since we don't have our intake in, they're gonna be on no matter what. But we can erase the transmission ones, and we can start her up. Engine power reduced for the 2-minute warm-up. That's new. One thing also to note, guys, you can actually check the transmission fluid level in the 68 RFE while it's in park. You don't necessarily have to be in neutral like with our 48. Just because of how the transmission is, I guess the fluid flows no matter what gear range you're in. So we can check it in park and be extra safe. But I know for a fact that our transmission fluid is still low. When I put it in reverse though, we did get a nice, you could feel it actually go into gear, into reverse, but we're gonna continue to fill the trans like this with it off, because it's definitely gonna need a few more quarts. Yeah, definitely need some more. So we'll put, we got 6 in, we'll put another 4 in, that'll give us our 10, and we will go from there.
One eternity later.
So the last of our 15 quarts of transmission fluid is in the truck. We're waiting for the funnel and the tube to kind of drain out so we can check the level and see if we actually have to run out and get more fluid. But while we're doing that, I figure we can make a little tuning adjustment. So I do have the charger hooked up. When these trucks first came out and you could first tune them with a Mini-Max, that was your only real option for custom tuning and whatnot. I remember a lot of guys saying to put the charger on it, you know, or make sure it has a really good charge, because the glow plugs, or not glow plugs, wow, because the grid heater will actually cycle on and off. The truck, I never really followed that because I never had any issues, but the truck has been sitting now for, I don't know, week and a half. So sitting outside like that, we're just gonna, you know, be precautionary, and we're gonna have the thing on the charger. Well, back to stock we go. You have returned your vehicle back to stock. Please start your engine now and press continue to begin monitoring, or you may unplug. So guys, we got the stock tune back in the truck. Our Mini-Max is now just a set of gauges. Also, I just put another quart or two in the transmission. It still seemed a little low, so we gotta let that run down the tube. So while it's doing that, we're gonna fill our transfer case, and hopefully we can take this thing for a little ride. So the transfer case is filled up. It took about a quart. That's all that came out of it, surprisingly. I thought it was definitely going to be more than that, but I think it only holds about 3 quarts anyhow. Our stock tune's back in. Just listen to how quiet this thing is. I mean, it's so quiet compared to how it was. Yeah, she's quiet, all right, that's for sure. But so our trans is full. Let's take her for a little spin real quick. Second. I can't feel any of the shifting. Wow. Yeah, being used to a built transmission and now being back in the stock one, yeah, can't hardly feel a thing. Man, it's just weird. Success. So Caitlin moves under her own power again. So I just took her for a quick jaunt up the driveway to make sure she shifted all right, and I really only was able to get the first, second, maybe third. Really, other than the 1-2 shift, you couldn't feel anything, so I might not have been out a second. I'm not even sure. But just wanted to make sure she moved. Reverse feels good, all that. Checked our codes. Our codes are just the intake ones for over in this area. These two connectors here, it's just for those for our like air filter setup. Also, we didn't go for like an extended drive because This EGR pipe isn't hooked up because I need to get this tube. As you can see, I cut it off and put a threaded rod on there and made a bracket. So we need to get that. It is ordered, it's on the way. So once we get that, we can fill it with coolant, connect that, and put this thing completely back. But it runs, it shifts. Also, this being a 68 RFE and it being a different transmission than was in it, we need to go somewhere or get somebody to come here with a scan tool and do a quick learn on the truck. Once they do that, it'll kind of, basically a quick learn, what it does is it goes through the transmission, checks all your clutch packs, and gets your clearance so it knows how to shift so you don't burn the thing up. So with all the work we just did, we're not going to go out there and start driving the truck until we get that done. If you guys remember with our 3500 project last year, that we put our stock transmission from that truck, which would have come in handy in this situation, but anyway, we put that in that 3500. We took it to a guy up the street. He was able to do the quick learn for us and all that. So yeah, Caitlin moves under her own power. I'm so glad. I am certainly tired of laying under this thing in this cold July weather, that's for sure. So guys, kind of a bittersweet day here at the garage. Caitlin is back to stock. Even before we tuned it, back to stock, just having all the emission stuff on there really quieted everything down, and it's just like, man, this thing just doesn't have the same rumble, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, so our Mini Max is just in there for gauges. Eventually that's going to be coming out. Yeah, once we get that coolant pipe and our trans relearn on our 68, we'll be able to fill the thing with coolant and take her for a proper test drive. It's certainly going to be interesting driving the truck now that it has been detuned compared to what it was. Also, I don't think I hardly towed with it before I had deleted the truck, so I wouldn't mind towing with the truck a little to see how it felt, but I don't know, it just, like I said, kind of bittersweet putting the truck back to stock. As you guys saw, I have a Mini Max still, and the reason for never switching over to EFI Live is the tunes were always fine. I was happy with the power of the truck. The truck always shifted great. When we took our trans apart, we found out that tuning was not an issue with the transmission. It was a hard part failure. So anyway, like I said, that old tuning still worked good for me, so I just left it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. We probably have one more episode of this little Caitlin saga to go, but it's certainly been an interesting trip putting all this stuff back on the truck, and man, I just never thought we'd be here right now. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.